financing package together, and again, this resolution does that. This evening, I will be here for questions if you have some, but John Peterson is a representative of the group that owns the parcel that we have under contract at this time, and I believe he's prepared to make just a short statement also, if you so desire.
Certainly. Name and address for the record.
Yes, sir. John Peterson, 6201 College Boulevard, Overland Park, Kansas. And thank you, Mayor and members of the council, for just a few minutes. I've spent many years in Johnson County appearing at podiums like this, usually as a representative of an applicant or a developer. And I want to make it clear, I'm here tonight as the owner of the property. And a couple of points I'd just like to make very quickly. One, I bet, and this is a little bit out of character for me, I'm as concerned about how this piece of property ultimately develops out as you are. I, with a couple of partners, have been investors in the future of Gardner in the form of this site now for several years, through good times, bad times, and now moving towards good times again. And I will tell you that our vision for what's just about a bit over 40 acres, when you take the main tract plus about the 7 acres we have on the north side of 188, is commercial. And we want to get as high-end, as much income-producing, retail, commercial activity there as we possibly can, which I think puts us on the same page with the city. Having said that, what I've learned, as we've seen markets change throughout Johnson County, and I've gone through a lot of applications at a lot of major intersections, really a mixture of uses, if planned properly, can lead to the best success for particularly larger parcels of ground. And as we hear the term in this day and age of mixed use, that is some residential, maybe a little bit of office, then retail, well-designed and designed in a compatible fashion that you in fact sort of energize the site and you get a number of different activities going there, so you're not just waiting around for the one big box retailer, which I'll tell you in this day and age are harder and harder and harder to find. The second point that goes, and I'm not going to go on as lawyers tend to do on and on, but if you look at this particular piece of site, it's a great site, it's at a great location, as referenced, the infrastructure's there, but it's kind of got a funny shape. And it's got some challenges. It's got some development right out in front of part of it. But the reason we decided this was a good partnership to just take this first step with is, it's not a typical multifamily project from the standpoint that you need 20, 25 acres to do 15 units an acre. In fact, the applications I've been running for clients lately have been 25 units an acre, 4-story. This is a little 5-acre piece. Fits in nicely with what could be a nice mixed use, and it takes a piece of that property, if dial back to that site plan, that is kind of this piece back there that's going to be hard to lay out a typical commercial area in it in any event. It kind of fills in that, it gets too deep to kind of focus that retail and commercial activity you would typically do. So we thought, you know what? This is not a bad little niche use to put in there. We're not uncomfortable with the use at all with our ultimate vision. Now, having said that, I think as Jamie has indicated, this step is contingent on zoning. If ultimately, even if they got the credits and they came back to you and you didn't like the plan, the ultimate use, they know they're at risk. They're not only at risk with you, they're at risk with us. Because our contract specifically states we need to be comfortable with the ultimate plan, how it looks, how it feels, how it would incorporate with the rest of the site, and it'd be our anticipation when that zoning came back, we'd bring you a full site plan on all of the acreage and show you how it fits in. So a baby step to at least get activity going, a little focus, kind of makes sense that all of us can spend a little time in planning. Again, I don't think it sets a precedent. It clearly doesn't legally bind you to make the ultimate decision. It gives us all an activity to work together and see if this might work. So I'm sorry I probably went a little too long. Be happy to answer any questions, and we would at least appreciate this next step going on. Again, everybody acknowledging it's not ultimately binding on the council.
Okay. If you'll bear with us for just a minute, I'm going to open the floor, see if there's any public comments. And then I'm certain that we'll probably have some questions from the council.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. That being the case, is there a member of the audience that would like to speak about new business item number 8? No one coming forward. Do we have questions from council? Heath?
Only a comment, and actually, both gentlemen, I appreciate you coming this evening to speak about it. Actually, you made it the point I'd hoped to make if we didn't get to that was, this really is no more than a commitment of support for you to apply for the tax credits. It just, there's literally, if it's a 100-step process, this is step 1 and 2. Step 1 was drafting it, step 2 is bringing it to us. So there's so many more things that would come, and the talk within the council or the staff support is perhaps this is a little premature because we're part of the comprehensive plan and maybe there'll be some new land use maps drawn. All of that can still be in place and happen simultaneously as you're applying for the tax credits, the way I see it. There's no reason to deny this and deny the application and the opportunity to do so because, you know, I hate to put it bluntly, there'll be plenty of opportunities to deny if that's how we choose to do so. If the development plan says that we don't feel that's going to support multifamily residential in that area, then we can deny a rezone. If we don't think it's going to be great for mixed use, we'll have a lot of opportunities to do so. We'll see better presentations that will speak actually to the use itself. And the other thing I think that the comprehensive plan will do is give us a better, complete understanding of the necessity of this type of housing. What is the demand in Gardner for income-based housing? Really, where are we at as a capacity level? What sort of homes are those individuals having to find now to live in? And is this a way to present maybe a little bit better product at a cost price that's going to mix in? So from my perspective, you know, I used the term that I used earlier. I think it's a little short-sighted to actually deny the request when really this is just an opportunity for them to seek the financing that fits their business model best and then come back to us with the complete package, and then we act accordingly at that time, which in all realism, I don't think the approval process is until fourth quarter on these, I believe. So we wouldn't see this again until 2015.
May I speak to the approval process with these tax credits? And I want to clear that up real quick. If you were so inclined to approve this tonight, we would immediately start our planning process. When I read the report, and by no means is this an insult to staff or anyone, I've never been in this position with a land use plan on a piece of property. Typically because, you know, once we make this application, there's a lot of investment that goes in to make the application to begin with. First and foremost, we want to make sure we have support within the community we're wishing to become a part of, because this program requires us to place this in the program for 15 years. We own everything we build. I mean, we're going to become an active member and taxpayer within the city of Gardner. Secondly, if you're so inclined to approve it, we would then go ahead and I'll turn my design team loose, working with the landowner, working with Mr. Hall here at the city. We would like to go ahead and start that process for the zoning, because these tax credits are awarded the end of May. So, and what that does is the state of Kansas actually forward allocates. So we're in 2014, 2015 credits that, you know, they will say, okay, end of May, we like your project. So we would like to start moving towards that May window. And, of course, anytime in between, if for some reason the city doesn't like what they see, doesn't like what's going on, there's many different avenues to say, hey, we need to regroup, and unfortunately this might not work this year. We have a very good feeling, with all the growth in southwest Johnson County, between your community and another community, that there will be something funded, and these are so competitive in this, and I do believe the fit would be something very nice in that area and for the city of Gardner. I'm sorry I get long-winded sometimes.
Christie, you have a question?
If you were not granted these tax credits, would you still move forward with the rezoning request? Or is this a predecessor to that?
Our plan is to go ahead and start the zoning process to get us to that window to know, if this is going to be something, the city would like to see there. But, and I say that because our company, since 1987, has never given back an award of tax credits. So we've always been successful in working with the communities that we strive to come with and build a beautiful project. That being said, again, you know, we would hope by the end of May we're going to have a gauge on where the city is on the zoning for this application. So I would tell you that prior to their award, if we're not at a process where, the zoning we think is a very good possibility, I'm going to pull my application because I'm not going to give federal credits back. That is kind of a black eye, and that